What's going on, guys? Welcome into ShenkDaddy Sports.
Welcome in, guys, to another special show. I'm your host, ShenkDaddy, and we got a very special guest here today. We got Rover Sports, a la Spencer G in the house. And, man, it's just great to have you here today. We're going to talk some sports just like old times, brother.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man. It's been a little while since I've been down in this basement, since we've talked basketball. Now we're recuperating. It's a fantastic time, Shenko, and this is my favorite time. It's just talking sports with a great buddy like yourself, and I'm blessed to have friends that like sports. I really am.
It is.
It's tough not having friends that like sports. I mean, I have a couple of friends who don't like sports, but...
Sure.
I mean, this is what it's all about, and we got this new backdrop, Shenk, and kind of talk about your new show, man. Talk about ShenkDaddy Sports.
Yeah, man, just a new show kind of been going on the past couple months. You know, definitely wanted to, start a new show, ShenkDaddy Sports. It's up on YouTube, Facebook Live now, just kind of getting my name out there and, just kind of just doing what I love, talking sports, really, and really just promoting my brand and just got a major passion for it, just like Spencer G over here with his Rover Sports page. And, we're just doing it live, and we got a lot of big news to discuss for tonight's matchup and tonight's podcast.
You know what? And we're getting through the summer, Matt. You know, training camp is almost here. The NBA trades, that's better than the regular season. It's better than part of the playoffs.
Of course.
With LeBron James moving to LA, Kawhi Leonard, finally that news dropped. Woj bomb, man. That's what the NBA is for, is Twitter, and that's why I'm so excited to talk about it. And listen, with starting a podcast and everything, it is just spectacular talking sports, and realistically, it takes a long time to get to the level of guys that are on national television, but you gotta love it, and then maybe one day somebody will stumble upon this and say, you know what, these kids have fun, these kids have talent. The key is loving what you do.
Absolutely. I mean, we're just getting started here.
Topics. That's what it's all about.
That's really what it's all about, guys. I'm just getting started here. Got a lot to discuss. My page will be growing. Gotta be adding some new special features coming in very soon for you guys. And I'm just really excited to get started. But let's get to the main story, guys. And we just heard 2-3 hours ago. The backdrop basically says it all. Carmelo Anthony on his way to the Atlanta Hawks. And obviously, I want to grab me an Atlanta Hawks jersey before he gets sold out,
No, you better get quick, because he's going to get cut by the Atlanta Hawks.
I know. That's what we keep hearing from.
So he's literally going to be in Atlanta for a freaking day. And he's just roving around. You know what he is? He's like a freaking ping pong ball. He's just getting smacked around in all different directions. Carmelo Anthony,
I know, absolutely,
how the mighty have fallen. Carmelo Anthony. This contract is absolutely ridiculous. But Carmelo was a guy in New York that would jack up a lot of shots. And last year in Oklahoma City, he was a detriment to that ball club. So
he really was. Absolutely, man.
They saved like over $100 million in cap money, I believe.
Well, that contract, it was really all about New York. It's a New York City contract. When Phil Jackson made that commitment with him for, I believe it was 4 years, basically almost $150 million contract, paying him what the market really wanted him to. For him to get dealt to Oklahoma City, paying all the wage tax, and that tax in Oklahoma would have been just detrimental to that Oklahoma City franchise. And that's how, and they got really a nice return. They got a protected 2022 first round, protected lottery pick from Atlanta. So that basically gets them off the books. And they also potentially get rid of, that sense to the Hawks. And now with Dennis Schroeder coming into town, he'll be able to back up Russell Westbrook, off the bench. Dennis Schroeder's a nice contributor off the bench. I really like his game. He's got a nice jump shot. And I think he has a nice feel to what Westbrook's going to do back there.
Schroeder is a decent player, but he kind of seems like a malcontent, and that's why in Atlanta, that's why he wore out his welcome there, and he didn't want to be a part of the rebuild. And that's the thing about Dennis Schroeder is I like Atlanta getting rid of him dead weight, let Trae Young run the freaking show, and they get a first-round pick. Atlanta's building beautifully, and also they drafted a kid out of Maryland, Kevin Huerter. This kid can shoot. They have a Warriors guy, like a guy from Golden State that worked for the Golden State Warriors there, now their general manager. So I think that they're doing this perfectly, Atlanta. Stacking assets, waiting for their time to come up.
Yeah, I mean, talking about assets, another big trade we got to get into.
Oklahoma City was so damn desperate, they're like, Atlanta, please take Carmelo Anthony. Please take him. We'll give you a damn pick, and you need to take the guy. Please,
absolutely.
just get him the hell out.
And that was a franchise where they needed to get rid of Carmelo. They kind of wanted to start over with, Paul George and Russell Westbrook at the helm.
Right.
This same Carmelo just seemed like a dead weight, with him on the floor.
And then he doesn't want to go to the bench. I mean, other than his championship at UConn, he was all right with the Denver Nuggets in terms of the playoffs. This guy, I've never really been a big Carmelo Anthony supporter because this guy just hasn't won when it mattered. He doesn't make teammates better.
Well, that's the problem with Carmelo. I mean, I've always loved him since a Knicks fan as a young buck. But the thing is, with Carmelo, he's a me guy. He demands the ball. And I just feel like with that ISO ball with the Rockets, definitely where I think we're all think he's going to sign, Ooh. I think he'll fit very well in that Mike D'Antoni offense.
The banana boat.
I just feel James Harden will get some touches. Chris Paul will get some touches. Ariza's gone now, and Amal Mute are both out. So with this Carmelo Anthony signing, they just got to make this trade happen and make this deal happen for Carmelo to have that big three for the Rockets. It's going to be interesting and see how it's going to plan out. It's going to be a nice big three tandem to be able to go up against the Warriors. Let's shove off for LeBron just for a minute, because we're going to wait until LeBron for next year, because LeBron, to be honest with you ain't going to win this year. It's not your chance, but we'll get to a key story coming up. It'll be a Lakers town coming up next year.
I don't know about that. I think the Lakers honestly have some fight to this team.
You think so?
Yes, LeBron James, he beat the Toronto. Everyone talking about Toronto. He beat them in 4 games. He beat the Boston Celtics when Jason Tatum was at peak of powers. This guy, LeBron James, he can make any series competitive. Even with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Game 3 was competitive. Game 1 was competitive this year. Rondo's a good point guard. Lance Stevenson is really going to fight with Draymond Green. I like the Lakers better than the Houston Rockets.
Really?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
Wow.
Chris Paul's getting old. Is Clint Capella going to be back in Houston?
I'm rolling around in my seat.
And
the Lakers didn't even make the playoffs last year. They got no playoff experience on that roster besides LeBron James.
But it's LeBron James. Look at Cleveland. Cleveland's dead.
Yeah, but you're comparing apples and oranges with the East and Western Conference. He's not going to be able to go to the Western Conference Finals like a blink of his hat.
I think
with the greats of the Rockets and the Warriors, and
that's it.
That's
it. I think they can beat Oklahoma City too. Let's make a bet right now.
That's tougher.
The thing about LeBron and the Lakers is Lance Stevenson can play. Brandon Ingram's going to play. Kyle Kuzma.
They're not game changers.
Mo Wagner. It's a decently talented
look
roster.
Sound yourself. Wagner? Come on. He's not a difference maker.
Okay, then list the Rockets.
You have
the Houston Rockets.
Okay, you got Chris Paul, who's a nice superstar for you. Gets injured at times. He's fine.
Getting older.
That's fine.
Yes.
You still have James Harden, who is a potential playmaker for you.
Now let's sit back. Now the show's going to start.
James Harden's going to choke when it matters most. So give the ball to Melo, because he wants the ball at crunch time. He's pretty clutch. A lot of Knicks fans know. Even some Thunder fans will even vouch for me there. But I'm just saying, even Clint Capella's a nice baller, double guy.
He's
he's a really good defender.
He's a rim protector.
Yeah, he's very underappreciated rim protector. Not a lot of people talk about Clint Capella because he's a rising superstar. He's going to be the next. Well, I'm not going to say he's going to be the next Shaq, but he's going to be very good.
JaVale McGee does things that Clint can do. JaVale McGee. For the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers have a deeper roster.
But he's gotten better over the years, but he's not going to make a game changer.
He'll come off picks and rolls. Houston has Danny Green. They have P.J. Tucker. It's a bunch of role guys, too. It's not like their team is just this juggernaut. Mm-hmm. The way they almost beat the Golden State Warriors was by holding the ball, playing strategic, and playing keep away with Chris Paul.
That was also true.
It was really like all Chris Paul and James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
Right, LeBron James for the Lakers is going to be isolating with the basketball. He's going to have Rondo. He's going to have Lonzo Ball, Kuzma, Josh Hart's very good.
I got a newsflash for a lot of Lakers fans.
Hart, Summer League MVP,
and a lot of Lakers fans will be happy for me to say this. Lonzo's not going to be with this team come 2019. I'm telling you that right now.
Why?
It's going to be It's going to be Josh Hart's point guard.
Wow.
It's going to be Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, LeBron James.
No.
And then who else would be at the 4 and 5?
There's more.
Because they got rid of Julius
Hart,
Randle,
and
that's really the basis there.
Josh Hart to me is like a shooting guard, but I can see them like getting.
I can see him a point. Look at him in the summer league.
I can see Dame Lillard.
He dominated the summer league. Help me out here, guys.
How about Dame Lillard or John Wall coming in? I could totally see that happening. That's more realistic. The Lakers making a big time splash for Dame or John Wall.
I could see that because, honestly, with DeMar DeRozan going to the Spurs, there's no loyalty anymore. So, I mean, that really makes sense for everybody to just go to that team.
Pigskin Pete, man. You know Pigskin Pete. Have you heard about him? He's a Clemson guy. He did a live stream today for a freaking hour long.
There you go.
An hour-long live stream, which is so difficult to do. You have to be at a certain stage in your YouTube career to be confident enough, but Pigskin Pete's very confident, great YouTuber. He's going to sub you up, man. I'm going to leave the link in the description. So
sounds good, man.
Got a lot of Niners fans, Shank. That's all you got to do on YouTube is talk these Niners, talk Jimmy Garoppolo, man.
I hear that,
man. You'll fit right the heck in, you know?
For sure.
Because
for sure.
People are confused whether I'm a Giants fan or a San Francisco Niner fan.
Well, as for right now, you're a Yankees and Niner fan.
Yes. Yes. I did a Blaine Gabbert, I kid you not, Blaine Gabbert versus Colin Kaepernick film review. I'm talking about Blaine Gabbert, you know, like kind of a bust from Missouri.
Sure.
It got 27K views.
Wow, look at you. Go you, man.
But that was when it first started. Like, I literally maybe had 50 subscribers. That's the power of the empire, the Niner Empire. That's the best way to build up the channel. So.
That's really interesting, man. Yeah. Absolutely, man.
Yes,
but
it is.
Definitely want to dive into some more NBA news because we got a lot of news to jump into.
It's NBA freaking news season.
It's core because we're in the heart of summer. There's not much to talk about, but I gotta go off and say,
yes.
I can't believe this news that we just woke up to yesterday with Kawhi Leonard being shipped to Toronto and DeMar DeRozan, a franchise player for the Raptors. He put his heart, blood, and tears into that Raptors organization, probably more than Drake himself. Probably quote me on Drake on that.
Shout out to Drake, man. You're the biggest Drake guy I know.
Oh, I know. I can't wait to go to his concert coming up in September, man.
He's the one guy who brings it every time, man. You know, he's won over people. The whole Meek Mill thing, you know.
Meek Mill, Kendrick Lamar. I mean, you know it. I'll be there, man.
It's crazy. He came from Degrassi. You know that show, Degrassi?
Yeah, that's right.
So a lot of rappers, like, they grow up, I think, even tougher than Drake. But his music, man, that's what separates the guy. But, yeah. Drake is one of those bandwagon guys. But let's talk about Raptors. Let's talk about this whole trade.
Yeah, I mean, this is an unbelievable trade to unforeseen circumstances with the whole weird situation with the Kawhi Leonard and the whole, like, debacle with him and Tony Parker. Tony Parker saying that, he should have, Kawhi Leonard should have came back from his injury sooner, kind of rubbed him the wrong way. So it's just kind of interesting to see all this play out and unfold. And basically, that relationship was just unrecoverable. And so Kawhi Leonard just felt some type of way, and he had to get shipped out. And I'm really glad what the Spurs did. They waited. They had a high price tag for Kawhi Leonard. They basically asked the Magic to give up, Josh Hart and, Brandon Ingram and maybe a first-round pick. But Lakers stood and put because they're very confident that Kawhi Leonard's going to be a Laker next year. Kudos to them for doing that. But the Spurs hit an absolute home run with this trade. Kawhi Leonard I would be shocked. It's unbelievable that this, the executive for the Raptors, just to make this unbelievable trade that Kawhi is not even interested in playing for the Raptors. I mean, why would you give up your franchise player who's giving you your blood, sweat, and tears to potentially get a guy like Kawhi Leonard who's going to be gone in a year? Because look at it this way. LeBron James is in the West now, right? Now, the balance of power now in the East, it's basically three teams. It's Toronto, it's Boston, it's Philly. Toronto actually has a pretty decent chance now, even with DeRozan in the East as well, if he was still there.
That's the point. That's why they got Kawhi Leonard this year. They're a better team with Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, but what? It's just a one-year rental and he's going to be gone. So you basically gave up DeMar DeRozan for nothing.
But look at Kyle Lowry. Lowry is probably going to leave. Why are you so fascinated with DeMar DeRozan? What has DeMar DeRozan done when it mattered to make you really miss him?
Yeah, but
DeMar DeRozan loses in the second round every single year. They got swept by the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Raptors are chronic
but
jokers.
LeBron's not in the East anymore.
If you keep DeMar DeRozan, you're never winning a championship. Never.
Yeah, all right.
With
So
Kawhi Leonard this year,
so
you could possibly win a championship. And then guess what happened? If you never made the trade, the Raptors lose to the Celtics in the playoffs again, and then they tank in a couple of years. But here's
they're going to give up basically Kawhi Leonard for nothing. You better, if I'm the Toronto Raptors, you better win the chip this year. Because if you ain't going to win it this year, you ain't going to win for a very long time. You're going to be tanking. You're going to be in rebuild mode.
Isn't that special?
Kyle Lowry's going to get dished out to other franchises. You're going to have these guys, Valanciunas going to get shipped out. They're going to just start over from scratch.
And why does that matter? If DeMar DeRozan is not winning you a championship, if you kept him, nothing would have happened anyway.
I agree with that.
And guess what?
But that's
Paul
a major
George,
risk.
when Paul George
Major
was
risk.
traded to the Thunder, you thought it was a year rental as well.
That's a different situation.
How is that different? He lived in L.A. He told you he wanted to go
But
to
the thing is,
LA.
Kawhi Leonard has literally zero interest in playing for the Raptors. At least when
Paul George got traded.
Yeah, but at least when Paul George got traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder, at least he had a nice supporting cast to play with Westbrook, to play with Steven Adams, to play potentially with that Thunder franchise with
Sure.
With definitely, there's all those great players in the Thunder they have even now. With even Dennis Schroeder now, they're making a lot of these great moves now. Yeah. I just think it was just different. You had that nice solid piece in Westbrook to build around. Who are you going to build around in Toronto besides Kawhi Leonard? I mean, there's really nobody else there.
You have Valanciunas, you have decent role
But they're
players.
they're not franchise caliber players.
Of course.
They're
why are you so upset at the trade? DeMar DeRozan can't really shoot the three ball. He's not one of the upper echelon stars.
But he's going to make the Spurs even better than they were last year. Because Kawhi Leonard didn't even play last year.
It's a good trade for both sides.
I think why is it a good trade for both sides?
It's a good trade for the Raptors because with DeMar DeRozan, they're not going to win a championship.
So who do you think won this trade today? If you had to say now,
the Toronto Raptors.
Oh, you're. Yeah, you're like Skip Bayless, man. That's absurd. That is asinine. I can't believe you just said that.
Why? He might like it.
Why would he want? Why would he like Toronto? That's unreal. I can't believe you.
The point is that what's so special about getting swept in the second round of the playoffs? Why do you like being in purgatory? That's what DeMar DeRozan is.
But you don't know with Kawhi Leonard if he's, his injury as well. You don't know if
Who cares? Then you tank.
Okay, what if Kawhi Leonard...
You don't want to be in purgatory.
What if Kawhi Leonard sits out for that whole year and then he just says, forget about it, I'm going to the Lakers. Then he's gonna say it's still a win trade? They basically gave up DeRozan for nothing. I mean, DeRozan's still a nice player.
It's DeRozan.
But that's the thing, man. What I'm trying to say is that, I understand, the logistics of why they're doing it. It's just the situation of
he's overrated.
Why is that happening?
He's overrated. He's not going to be that good on the Spurs.
You don't think so?
He'll get 17. Remember LaMarcus Aldridge, how good you thought he was for the Spurs, and he kind of tanked. So watch Kawhi stay.
What, stay with the Spurs or stay with the Raptors?
The Raptors.
Well, I mean, if they get to a conference finals,
I applaud Toronto for firing their coach and going for it.
Well, I just think Kawhi Leonard's all about lifestyle change and not just living in for the Raptors in the cold. He'd rather live in the warm weather.
Know. And
he's an LA boy. I mean, come on.
And he gets taxed a crap load of money.
Absolutely.
A crap load of money. But the thing, I applaud Toronto for going for it. I do. Because DeRozan, I don't think you were ever getting close to winning a championship anyway. So I don't miss him that much.
No.
That's up to you, man. I saw what he did in the playoffs. I'm not impressed.
It all depends on the way you look at it, but, that's the nature of the sports podcasting world, man.
The Sixers, if they gave up Dario, would have been much better because Dario's not close to Would you say Dario Saric?
But the Spurs would be stupid if they took that trade because Saric is not on the same level as Kawhi Leonard. At all.
And DeRozan is at least he's much better than the Sixers package.
Who's that?
The Spurs. They got some good bang for the buck with DeRozan.
Absolutely. I think so.
Because the Lakers weren't budging. The Lakers were not budging. So, and the Sixers package would have been horrible. Dario Saric, he's inflated because of the Boston series.
Well, he played really well that series. I thought he balled.
No, that's what I'm saying is that his value is higher than it should be.
Sure.
Because we remember the Boston series. He's a 14-point-a-game guy. He's not that special.
Well, who do you think is going to come out of the East next year out of those three teams that we mentioned?
The Celtics, for sure.
Really? I like that. That's a nice move.
Sixers didn't do anything.
That's a nice move for them, yeah.
Sixers didn't do anything.
That's true. They're kind of the same
struck
team.
the hell out.
They still don't have any shooters.
Remember they said they were star searching? They struck out.
For free agency?
Do you think so?
Oh, you best believe they did. They didn't get Kawhi Leonard. I mean, granted, you know, it would have been a 1-year rental, but still, they still didn't make a splash. You got to be able to make a splash.
And Embiid would have maybe sold Kawhi Leonard. No Paul George. Nothing.
I don't know.
No Danny Green. No signings for the 76ers at all.
I know.
No Julius Randle.
Well, Julius Randle is now going to be that point forward now for the Pelicans now. I'm excited to see what that team's going to do now.
There were good contracts out there. I mean, even Zach LaVine, they didn't go after Aaron Gordon, a couple of guys that I like. So Sixers just do nothing, man. They completely are weak.
Well, I have another question for you, Sleeper. A lot of people say that they could be a good team next year. What about the Pacers with Oladipo and Miles Turner and that's a pretty solid team right there with Thad Young and those boys. No, I mean, they played really well last year. They gave LeBron it to 7 games, even with a bad Cavs team.
And of course they picked up my guy Dougie McDermott.
I thought he's with the Bulls now, isn't he, or with the Thunder?
Dougie Buckets is with the Pacers now.
Oh, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Just a couple years ago, he was a Knick.
Or a Maverick.
A Knick last year.
A Maverick.
And he was a Maverick. I'm surprised you don't have all his jerseys,
I gotta get the Pacers.
You're a big Dougie McBuckets guy, man.
From Creighton, absolutely. Met him there, and him and his dad, of course, one of the best college guys ever. But I like Indiana, too. Tyreek, great culture. Great culture.
Yeah.
Great culture.
Well, Tyreek is not that far from here. From
where
his hometown, man.
What's up? We got 7 people in the live stream, man. What's going on? The Sports Fury is freaking in the house, man.
Hey, man, that's what's all about, man.
44K, man. We're gonna visit them someday in Texas.
Yeah, guys. Honestly, we're just gonna keep this to an open forum. This is for the show, man. This is definitely something that I want to implement with the ShenkDaddy Sports show. Is just part of my show. Just want to be able to do an open forum, man. List, comment, questions you guys want us to talk about, and we'll definitely take this show in a great direction. So just go away with your questions. I'm looking forward to hearing you guys.
Yeah, we're doing it tonight.
Yeah, man.
We're leaving it all out there for the listeners.
For sure, man. I mean, what did you want to get into?
What did I want to talk to you about? So did you watch any college football media days at all?
I haven't. No. Actually, fill us in. You were just in Atlanta doing the SEC Media Day. So tell the listeners what you saw there. Yeah.
So I'll fill everybody on Atlanta. I mean, with the coaches like Saban and these guys, like a lot of it's like how's the quarterback shaking up, and then the guys say, we're gonna let the best quarterback win, and you're not really gonna get any real bulletin board answers. It's always like we want to, instill a culture. It's all cliches. When these coaches are so well guarded, except Drew Lock of Missouri's an interesting prospect, and he recalled like how he's changed throughout his career. And that's the thing with a lot of players is you hear how they have changed throughout their lives. And I suggest to everybody to go to media days for your college football program because you meet people in the media, which is, very advantageous for what we do. But then fans get to meet coaches, get to meet players, everybody's in the hotels. It was a wonderful time.
That sounds like a lot of fun, man. I mean, I would love to be able to go down in Atlanta to... tell us your experience. You interviewed Clay Travis.
Yes, I interviewed Clay.
The famous Clay Travis.
Clay is one of my favorite sports guys that I've ever met, and I probably annoyed the heck out of him a little bit too much over the weekend.
I'm sure you did. I was
standing right next to Clay. I was so nervous, like to be there with a hero, at an open bar. So I had a few drinks. Shenko, because it's very hard to even be sober, even with hot women. But you're talking about the SEAL team, brother. You're talking about Clay Travis, a guy that I absolutely love and adore his work. So that definitely made me nervous. But I went up to him, and when you go up to these adults, they shake your hand and they say, "Good meeting you," and they want it to be over. I didn't want it to be over. I wanted to establish a relationship, so I was standing like a foot away from the guy, and then you're on your phone, you're trying to act busy. It's a tough ordeal, man, but hey, go into a bar, and that's how you loosen up.
Well, of course, that's, I hear you on that, man, for
Proponent of drinking.
But that's a definite sure. Anybody who doesn't know Clay Travis, definitely one of the famous podcasters out there. But
he's controversial, but I enjoy him.
Also
I
known
enjoy
for
the heck out of him, man.
Also known for his comments on CNN. If everybody listened to him on CNN as well from that long time ago.
Can't read the comments. I'm trying to read the comments as best as I can, but
it's all good.
What I wanted to say, Matt, is what would be really cool if training camp for the NFL, what we should do? This is my idea. We have a huge camcorder and we record training camp. Like we go up to the Giants.
Go to different training camps?
We go to the Giants next week. Like even next Friday, we should take the show on the road, go to the Giants.
I'm up for it.
I want to film the Giants from the stands and stream it on YouTube from an HD camera. I want to do that.
That sounds really.
I mean,
that sounds cool.
How many views would that get? I mean, wouldn't that be?
That's crazy, man. Because we went up a couple years ago and we couldn't get access to it because it was raining that one day. That we got up early.
And it was like a light rain.
It
was a light rain.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but got to see the great MetLife Stadium. Saw other podcasters there as well, doing what we love to do. And
they want Hard Knocks with Shank and Rover.
What's that?
They want Hard Knocks with Shank and Rover.
Oh, they do? All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Marcus Levy, he's a great follower. We'll tell him to follow your channel as well. He's an Eagles fan from Panama.
Oh, man, my condolences. I know. But you know what, you guys...
He wants to go to the Eagles one.
You guys got your Super Bowl, it's all well and good,
I wanted to ask you. I got to get something off my chest, and I hope people listen to this, all right?
Here we go.
I really don't like Doug Peterson because it's not that Doug Peterson's a bad guy.
He's a one-hit wonder?
It's just I don't think he took the lumps that the NFL should have provided. Like I look at Andy Reid, and he's been working so hard for so long to just win one championship, and Doug Peterson comes in his second year and accomplishes it with Nick freaking Foles. Like, shouldn't a Super Bowl be harder to obtain? If you're Andy Reid, you must hate Doug Peterson.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing.
This city of Philadelphia is very ungrateful fans, and they don't like what Reid and McNabb did at all. They think Foles probably better than Donovan McNabb. And the thing is, Doug Peterson now, Andy Reid did so much for the city, and Doug Peterson comes right on in, wins one. That pisses me the hell off. In his second season, him winning a championship. It shouldn't happen that way.
Right. I totally get it.
You know what I'm saying?
You work hard and you should be able to be rewarded for all your hard work and dedication.
No, but he's like a baby. I tell you what, he's like an infant. It's instant gratification. It should not happen.
But I tell you what,
I want to see a coach that has struggled his whole damn life win a championship. Like let me give an example.
Alex Smith, Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. Yes. Like a Charger. Yeah, like a Rivers.
Right.
But I'm trying to think of a head coach in this league that has been through the wars. And is
Marty Schottenheimer.
Or
easy. You also have
Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera.
Well, he's got a Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl winner. He won it once.
With the Panthers? With who?
Ron Rivera? That's right. That's right. My mistake. Yeah, he lost.
Not as a head coach.
I should remember that. Cam Newton with his walking off the podium speech in Super Bowl 50. I should know that. Not diving
for that fumble?
Yeah, I know. Risking himself for his injury, right?
Well, let's think of the AFC. I mean, I know Tomlin's won. I know Belichick has won one. The Jaguars, that's the same sort of thing. I guess you just see maybe the coaching in the NFL is so young, or maybe I hate to say this, but even Jason Garrett, like if he got to a Super Bowl, he's been around it longer than Doug Peterson.
Well, I'll tell you what about Jason Garrett. He's taken way too long just because he's been Jerry Jones' puppet. I mean, he should have been fired by now. I just don't understand why Jason Garrett still has a job in the NFL. I mean, he's just a mediocre coach. The Cowboys have a lot of great talent on their team when they had DeMarcus Ware. I mean, obviously when they had Romo. That offensive line has been the best in the NFL for the past 3 or 4 years, and they still can't get it done. So I just don't know what Jerry Jones is doing. I think he's just worried about his income and really Jerry Ward and in his own his own right. But
Well,
I tell you what,
Jerry can do
that's the
whatever
thing,
he
man.
wants, though, as an owner. You don't want a coach that's going to argue with you. You know,
But that's the thing, though.
That's why
If
Bill
you-
Parcells left the Patriots for that.
But if you ask a lot of Cowboy fans out there, a lot of people will say we will never win another Super Bowl as long as Jerry Jones is our owner. Why? Look what the Cowboys have done for me lately. They've done nothing. They've been a absolute horrific in the playoffs. They haven't won. You know, they won a playoff game maybe 2-3 years ago. But outside of that, they haven't done nothing since 1996.
Yeah.
Back when Aikman was at quarterback, and a lot of Cowboys fans will attest to that too.
I mean, they'll say like if Des Bryant's catch was upheld, like they would have won, or.
But that was a catch, though, and I, my personal opinion, I thought that was a catch.
And they had a
chance. Your comments.
They had a chance a couple of years ago when Aaron Rodgers, had that throw across his body to the tight end of the Packers. You remember that? The Mason Crosby walk-off field goal. Remember that shootout of a game? Pat got up big, Dak came back, and it was when the Cowboys were 13-3. They have good regular seasons, but Jerry Jones, it's never going to happen. It's Stephen Jones, it's Jerry Jones. It's never going to freaking happen. You have a comment there. Try to read it.
Of course. Exactly.
They are.
I totally agree,
They're America's
Frank.
team.
Absolutely.
They're America's team. I mean, I don't even know how. Maybe oil money. That's how Jerry got the job.
Well, I mean, he definitely did well in Arkansas with doing his businesses and really doing well. Down south, just making great money with his finances and being a great businessman. Used to play for Arkansas as I believe as a lineman as well.
He did.
Back with Jimmy Johnson. So that's how that relationship started.
Really cool. Really cool.
But yeah, man, it's definitely interesting how that all played out.
His grandson's going there too to play. So I mean,
oh really?
Arkansas, yeah, that's a really cool kind of trivia there with Jerry.
Interesting, nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah,
man.
but I'll tell you, like Jerry has tried to step back. They never changed coordinators, the Dallas Cowboys either. Mm-hmm. Scott Linehan has been there so long. Marinelli, they don't change anything, and their picks are boring. I mean, Connor Williams, now they pick up Tavon Austin.
Right.
That gets me to another topic. You think Des Bryant gets signed?
I'm really shocked, honestly, that he has not been signed yet. I know he could be a locker room distraction, but he has such a great talent. I just feel that he needs to be able to be signed. I mean, I grant NFL, they want to become younger. They want to be able to be different. But I just feel that he can really contribute to, he's got enough left in the tank to be able to contribute to a winning culture. I mean, put him on the Packers. He makes Aaron Rodgers look even better than he already is. I mean, put him with the Chargers. That's a nice tandem for Rivers as well.
It is.
I mean, we were talking earlier in the offseason if the Giants were going to potentially pick him up. How much great would that tandem have been? Des Bryant, Odell Beckham Jr., Evan Ingram. Now it's Saquon Barkley. That offense is just now unstoppable now. I mean, it's still great now.
I don't want to sign Des.
That's interesting.
No,
that would have been interesting signing.
I don't want that because Brandon Marshall and Des to me are similar people.
Oh, why is that?
Because they both get in spouts in the locker room. I'm worried about the chemistry.
I hear you.
I'm worried about Pat Shurmur's well-being.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
So let's just keep. Odell Beckham's enough drama. Put it that way.
Tell me about
it. He goes
it.
on every TV show. The Miami boat trip just gets worse and worse. And the Odell defenders will say, well, Odell doesn't get in any trouble. But the attraction that he brings is just, it's ridiculous. He's divided the fan base.
He certainly has, and it really is a shame that he did that.
People are either Eli fans or the Odell truthers say, Eli Manning has not done him well. There's more Odell fans than Giants fans in this world. And that's what's scary about the millennials is that they just like players, not teams anymore.
Well, I think that's actually a great topic too, because you really see that the love of the NFL for a lot of different players or different, fans, even including myself, has gone down because look how Goodell has handled a lot of situations with Ray Rice. I mean, what other he has so many things that he really just with the Colin Kaepernick situation,
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady with Deflategate and even Spygate. The list goes on. And I feel that the way the NFL has just been turning off a lot of people, even with the whole CTE thing coming out as well, how they, handled athletes. You're seeing it now. A lot of athletes right now are retiring. I've never seen in one off season all these great players that could easily play, 3, 4, 5 more years. They're deciding to hang up their cleats. I mean, with Darrelle Revis even going an off season as well. He just recently retired, so
Right.
I'm just seeing times are changing now. I feel like a lot of players just want to conserve their body, and they want to do other things besides the NFL. And I applaud them for that.
I still love the NFL. It hasn't really changed for me. I think this NFL season is going to be great. I get all your complaints about Goodell, but it's not an easy gig. Like the Shady McCoy thing is just another headache for Roger Goodell.
Well,
I think that the problem with Goodell is that he shouldn't.
It's not a headache. You got to be able to deal with it.
He shouldn't be handling the assault cases. The Roger Goodell, because
he's the commissioner. He gets paid all that money to do all that.
Yeah, but he's not like an assault expert. Isn't that what cops are for? Isn't that what like investigators are for? He's a football.
Sure.
He's a I guess he's a lawyer, but so the thing is, it's very difficult. You have all these players you have to manage in this NFL. Everybody hates on Raj Goodell, but I get why I know you love college football.
Oh. Don't even get me started with that. College football is king.
I get that.
Cannot wait, baby.
Bigger fan of college.
I'm excited, man. Jarrett Stidham's going to be great for Auburn. You got Jake Fromm for Georgia. He's going to have a bounce back year. Granted, without Nick Chubb and Sony Michel.
Yes.
I just think even Jimbo Fisher's first year with Texas A&M.
Yes.
I think the sky is the limit for college football. They just need to expand that playoff, and it will just be amazing for college football.
I get that, but then the regular season. I love how the regular season is so important, though. But 8 teams, I think, will be nice. 3 rounds, that's it. You can't go past.
Well,
it.
the next contract coming up for NCAA is in 2020 to be able to discuss expanding the playoff to 8 teams, because I can easily see that
4 is
8 teams,
damn competitive,
without a doubt.
But 4 is damn good. I mean, the argument.
But you still have controversy even at 4. But you know what though? There's still going to be controversy if we have 6 teams, 8 teams, 10 teams, but then you're going to have the teams that are 11 seed. I think we have a good opportunity to get in, and then they got snubbed.
No,
it's never going to end,
It'll be good. It'll be good. But
absolutely, man.
I do like college. I mean, the thing is, like, we do have Pigskin Pete. He's the biggest Clemson fan. But I think South Carolina is going to be entertaining with Jake Bentley this year.
That's an interesting take.
They're a sleeper team with Will Muschamp. I really do. I think an interesting college football, plot is Texas. Tom Herman, they're so damn close last year to winning a lot of ball games. Their defense is spectacular. But can this offense get going with Sam Ehlinger? I don't like any quarterbacks on Texas's staff, but the Big 12, they got to get in the play. Well, I guess Oklahoma was in the playoff. Can the Pac-12 get in the playoff?
The thing is with the Pac-12, the concern I have is their strength of schedule, and that's why I feel that they don't get the respect that a lot of people do. And it's always 2 teams from the SEC, 1 from SEC West, SEC East, and you always have maybe somebody from the Big Ten or another team potentially either out west or just a non-conference team to be able to get in there. So I just think it's very interesting how it all plays out. And I just hope to see that expands, because it'll just be much interesting. Get rid of these boring games that we see, with Alabama and Tennessee State, or just these unknown teams that we don't ever heard of before. It's really time to, get rid of those games and put in games that matter most. I mean, shoot, we don't even have a college preseason even to work on. We just have the regular games, and that's it.
Well, yeah, I don't.
I wish we had a college preseason, so that would be fun.
It's gonna happen. No, not college preseason. No, the games where you have the cupcakes, because it's important for the state. It makes money for that state.
Well, that's true. But I
like the little teams too. They love playing in Bryant-Denny. They love going to Doak Campbell. They love going to the big house to play football. It's good for those little guys.
I hear you, man.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But I appreciate you guys hanging with us today on the ShenkDaddy Sports podcast. If you like what you heard,
Please
like,
subscribe.
comment, and subscribe. And I'll be posting a link to my channel as well below in the description on Facebook and YouTube Live. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. And stay tuned for more episodes, and we'll see you guys next time.
Wonderful time. God bless America. Take care. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Turn this off. All right, there we go.